Guten Morgen, Freundin. Was ist los? Was hast du gesehen? Was ist mit dir? I say, what have you seen? That's not right, is it? Was hast du genehmt?
Destroy all communists.
Diese Tun, so geil, hammergeil. Es ist total lecker Tun. Mein Luftkissenbot ist voller Ader. Mein Lobster ist ein großes Tussi. Yeah! It's Like This by Dub Elements. Ooh. You awake a little earlier than normal and you realise you've forgotten to prepare an intro for your radio show. You open up the curtains and look outside. What the fuck is going on? Flying cars, just robots and just all manner of bollocks. What the hell's going on out there? Have I missed something? I don't remember any of this. You check your phone. Your phone's implanted into your wrist. So you punch in your password and it comes up. Ah, it's the year 3700. Has much changed? Well, you're not underwater, but there are flying cars, even though certain people have said they'll never exist. You struggle downstairs and see your harem of sex robots all lying about the place. Some are cleaning up, some are cooking you an omelette, some are preparing the morning news for you. One of them ushers your slippers onto your feet and begins to slowly massage your ball bags. Where are you going with this intro? Nobody really knows, particularly not me. Do you know, Mr. Wesley Snips?
Smoking these meat.
As ever. Your third sex robot begins to toy at your tits, massaging them, almost as if she's trying to milk them. But then, weirdly, milk does begin to flow from your teats. You're lactating. What on earth is going on? Well, of course, it's 3700. You're any gender you want to be, and you can perform any human function. In fact, any animal function as well. So you choose the function of the lobster and begin to piss in your own face. Where is this intro going? Who absolutely knows? And another robot comes in and she says, "Darling, I've prepared your morning breakfast. I've prepared your coffee and beans."
Steady job and a couple extra potatoes. That's all I want.
You're getting on. You're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
Oh, I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee and Memes on the 28th of, what month is it? That's November, probably, more or less. But I feel like the months, they're social constructs at best. You know, it's just one long stretch of meandering reality, stretching off into the distance. Where will it go? Will we achieve that futuristic sci-fi luxury communism?
Destroy all communists.
Thanks very much to, I can't remember who it was, but someone sent me a YouTube video of Liberty Prime, which is a character from Fallout 4, who's really got a bee in his bonnet about communists.
Death is a preferable alternative to communism. Communist detected.
Yeah, you goddamn know it. Right, look, I've got all manner of got some good bits in here. Got some new Rido, some L33, couple of L33 bits. Got a remix of that Way of the Warrior track by James Marvel, the one that Big Bopper the Whopper likes to sing along to. Remixed by the beautiful, luscious-lipped June Miller, with her long, wavy blonde hair, her buxom breasts, and her rose-red lips. She's done a fine job of remixing that. And just before the feminists attack me, June Miller is, in fact, two men. But I shouldn't assume. Right, who's in the chat? What have we got going on in there? Mr. Merck's in there, the drum and bass farmer, Stin Grief, Jackass, Bam Margera. Right, oh, nice one, Bam. I've enjoyed your early work. However, recently you have become fat. Oliver Hooper, he's in there. He's shilling for real Australia. Oracle Beats, Monkey Z, Tony Jenners. Evan, Diz. All decent, honest, God-fearing folk out for a better way of Neurofunk. Out for a better quality of 200 hertz snare drum. Better quality of sidechain compression. I mean, have we gone as far as we can with sidechain compression? Maybe today we'll find out. Maybe we'll ask L33. Where are they from? Russia, I assume. Most people are these days. Russia, Neurofunk being Russia's biggest export. Right, look, should we get on with some of these shoe throwers? We've got to get rid of all... There's all banner of bloody bollocks in the thing. Let's have... Ooh, what have we got? I mean, we could just go in... Should we just go in hard? All right, this is Alien by Rido. It's on Blackout. All the best tunes are these days. Bulgarian. They're from Bulgaria. L33. I wonder what the L stands for. Leroy, maybe. Or legs. Mr. Merrick in the chat saying Subfocus should never have made Time Warp. He broke it, broke drum and bass. Only a true hero like Subfocus can handle that kind of syncopation. He should never have invented dubstep either. Yeah, that's Alien by Ryder. Oh, right, come on, let's get into this fucking madness. Barnaby Joyce wants to infect Carp with herpes now. Weird flex, but okay. Barnaby Joyce, national, he's an MP from Australia. This comes to me from the Australian, which claims to be for the informed Australian. I know. I mean, they're really shilling for real Australia here. Written by someone called Rick Morton. That sounds like a real person and not some sort of deranged Rick and Morty fan. Anyway, Barnaby Joyce has urged the government to immediately release a deadly herpes virus into the wild to kill carp, despite research suggesting there are big questions involved in the eradication program. He needs to team up with fucking Jasper Hamill of the Metro, who hates sharks. If you hate carp so much, maybe the two of you could go out on some deranged fish killing mission, like, I don't know, and then shag at the end of it, maybe surrounded by dead fish. It's possible. You could start inserting the dead fish into yourself. Yeah, have at it. The government's own scientific advisor has warned that the $15 million plan, roughly 38 English pounds, has given carp herpes almost certainly won't work because the invasive fish are better at breeding than rabbits. Wow, they're just out there. These carp are just out there slinging dick. They don't care if they've got herpes. They don't care if they've got carp gonorrhea. They've got cat AIDS. They're out of control. Bloody hell. The scheme was announced in 2016 when Mr. Joyce was agricultural minister. The virus was due to be released this year, but due to creative differences between the band... No, hold on. With the aim of killing 95% of carp. This is a carp genocide. Jesus, this is savage. With the aim of killing 95% of carp by 2045. But it was delayed by 12 months due to demos of the virus being leaked on LimeWire. Wow. In a paper published in Australian Zoologist this week, the government scientific advisor on the programme, University of Sydney Associate Professor Joy Becker, says the carp will develop immunity. What we're talking about here, mate, is herd immunity that shows an impact within 2 years, Professor Becker told the Weekend Australian. These fish become primed to win the prize. They're absolute sexual terrorists, mate. You can tell by the look on their face. The problem, she said, is that some adult fish survive the initial infection and develop antibodies. When they return to their spawning waters, they pass the virus on to young fish, but the waters are still too cold to activate the fatal disease. The federal government still plans to release the virus because they've fucking spent all this money on making it, so they've got to do something with it, otherwise it's a bloody waste. And release it into the wild next year, but Mr. Joyce told the Weekend Australian, which do you prefer, the Weekday Australian or the Weekend Australian? The Weekend Australian, he's got a sort of more Larry shirt, he's more drunk, and he's got a barbecue on the go. I think I like the Weekend Australian best. But Mr. Joyce told the Weekend Australian it should have happened already. You have to have some form of control, mate. Nothing's perfect. And we've made this fucking herpes virus. I had to shag 15 fucking fish to create this virus. And you can bloody... My cock's a kipper if I'm not going to release it. So what if the carp breed too... So what if the carp breed too quickly? They will breed faster if they were... Will they breed faster than if they were dead? Right, okay. Mr. Joyce said rabbits were prolific breeders too. Oh, he hates rabbits. Well, yeah. But the new versions of calicivirus and myxomatosis were developed and released. God, these bastards in Australia that are just creating all these viruses to create rabbit and fish genocides. It's what happens when you live on an island out in the middle of nowhere. Professor Becker said making these comparisons was a dangerous place to be made. And there were no other versions of the koi herpes virus. Fish are not rabbits. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. They can become infected with the virus, but if the temperature in the water is too low, they will not die. Right, we've got to raise the temperature of the water, everyone. Come on, global warming, let's get going. I saw something about chemtrails and the government wanting to start some sort of chemtrail program. Well, not the government. It's pretty, some leafy scientists done some sort of bogus study, and the Metro are reporting on it, going, "Oh yeah, we'll get some chemtrails up in the air, and that'll block out some of the sun, and then it'll stop the climate change and all this malarkey." Can you how much of the sky are you gonna have to cover with this? There's quite a lot of sky. I don't know if you've ever looked up, but there's loads of fucking sky everywhere you look. You wouldn't believe the amount of sky. It's fucking everywhere. It's not like, oh, there's a bit over there. Oh, there's some over there. No, just tilt your head up. Oh, look at it. Bastard amounts of sky. Christ. And you think you're going to fill it all? Yeah? You're going to fill it all? Why don't you just wait till night? And there's no sun at all. Ah, ridiculous. Right, anyway, these fish are going to get... These fish are getting fucked, basically, if this Barnaby Joyce has got anything to do with it. He looks like a fish. Gee, he's not a good-looking man. He's not a good-looking man. He's, let's get him up. Come on. Barnaby Joyce is looking for a fish genocide, 'cause he hates those motherfuckers. Oh, Barnaby Joyce. Barnaby Joyce. There we go. Oh, how much of it? We just reduce the size of Barnaby Joyce just a little bit. And it's me, Barnaby Joyce. I want to kill all the fish in the world, but only after I've infected them with my special Barnaby Joyce herpes strain. Yeah! Fucking Barnaby Joyce, you're out of control. Anyway, let's get back to these shoe throwers. Here's... that's not the one I wanted to play. Come on. Where are we? Gydra.
Careful.
Please listen carefully.
Yeah, this is a meaty bit of noise, isn't it? Whew! Yikes. I've set up some radgy Facebook live stream which is going to broadcast everything apart from the music. If you happen to be watching that, just click the YouTube link and go and watch the proper thing with music and high quality everything. This Facebook malarkey, it's not working for you. It's not working for you. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. There's always one. Bloody Jack Murphy. There's always one, isn't it? Watching Friends without the laughter track is amazing. Oh, look, they're all pouring in now. This is a proper Yeezy Yeeter. Whoa! Christ! Woo. Maybe this is more trouble than it's worth. If you're listening on Facebook, go to the YouTube link in the description of the video. Then you can hear all the bloody shoe throwers as well. Christ! Anyway, bloody hell. Okay. Does the foreskin facial mark the end of the world? Okay, The Guardian here reporting. Kate Beckinsale is the latest celebrity to try the treatment, which uses a serum derived from baby circumcised penises. Has anti-aging finally gone too far? You smearing baby dick juice on your face. That's so wrong. That's so... I can't even begin to describe how... Like... How? Okay, it's called the foreskin facial. There's a lot of sort of facts here. There's just a list of facts. Right, okay. God, I'm not in it. God, it's making me feel weird. Okay, name, the foreskin facial. Age, at least a week old. Appearance, a serum clone from the circumcised foreskins of South Korean babies.
It's appalling.
Quick question. Is it the end of the world? No, not at all. It's perfectly normal to want to have the liquidized foreskins of multiple babies rubbed all over your face. Are you sure? Because this sounds exactly like something that would happen before or in the aftermath of the collapse of civilization. Don't be daft. Kate Beckinsale has done it. She's a nice, normal person, right? She's not a psychopath. She doesn't bathe in the blood of infants. She bathes in the blood of infants that have been harvested by the globalists. They've been harvested by the white liberal elite, and these movie stars are using it as some sort of twisted psychopathic face pack. The same Kate Beckinsale who dressed up as a pantomime horse? That's right. Well, at least they've got a sort of sense of humour in this article. Fucking hell. I hate myself for this, but can you explain the foreskin facial? Of course. Epidermal growth factor, EGF serum, is derived from the progenitor cells of the human fibroblast taken from the foreskins of newborn babies. Stolen from the foreskins of newborn babies. They have their... I don't want to even get into just how awful circumcising newborn babies is. Just so awful. And what does it do? Glad you asked. It helps to generate collagen and elastin, which can help boost the radiance of your face. Fun side note, it smells exactly like sperm. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Why not just stick spunk on it? Why not just get a couple of lads round, get a couple of your pals, and just have them blast loads at your face? You could do that instead, you sack of shits. Well, sign me up. Wait, there's more. For the serum to take hold, a beauty therapist must first microneedle you. Oh, yeah. Just repeatedly stick needles into your face first before you stick the baby foreskins on there. How is this not illegal in some way? Like... okay, microneedling. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's fun. It's when a pen containing dozens of tiny needles repeatedly stabs you in the face. Hundreds of thousands of times. It's excruciatingly painful, but it does help the baby foreskin stick into your face. Seriously, where do I sign up? Oh, bad news. According to several reports, there's a 2-year waiting list to have babies' foreskins ground up and smeared into holes punched into your face. Plus, a single treatment costs nearly 500 quid. Right, okay. This is so bad. This is awful. I don't know what to do with my life. I need to really reassess some stuff. Oh, God. Anyway, seriously, right. Better leave it to the likes of Beckinsale then. If it helps, she's thrilled with the treatment. Brilliant. Good for her. No, that's great. That's really cool. I'd like to see her watch a video of a week-old baby having part of its dick cut off, and then see if she wants to smear it on her face. She recently captioned a close-up of her pristine face. After a long flight, I do like to lie down and be... Wow. She's doubling down on it. She says, she posts a picture of her close-up pristine face and writes, after a long flight... Oh, sorry, I'll do the accent. Howie, after a long flight, I like to lie down and be covered with a mask of liquefied cloned foreskins and that. Frankly, who doesn't? Howie. And then I like to go down the grove for a milkshake to compensate. Hey, what do you mean Jeff's dead and the grove burnt down? Dad, Howie, these 1990s references are fucking wasting everyone's time, Rankin. All right, sorry. Did her followers agree? That depends. Do comments such as, disgusting, you are disgusting, you're disgusting, I hate you, you're gay. Whoa, okay, easy now. I used to like you, but now you smell a foreskin. Well, I've had enough of this foreskin malarkey. I think we've milked this one. Right. Yeah, okay, let's play a few more of these shoe throwers then. If you're listening and watching on Facebook, you'll need to click on the YouTube link in the description or look at the comment that's pinned to the top, or you will not be able to hear it because Zuckerberg will shut me down. He'll shut me down so fast, so goddamn fast, like I'm trying to enter his anus without lubricant. Okay, come on, these shoe throwers, where are we? This is L33. Whew.
Destroy all communists.
Side 20's watching on Facebook. I can see him. This is Be Mine by L33. Whew, it's a hot joint. It's a hot joint, baby boy.
Lobsters.
Boy, I crab man. Lots of newcomers in the chat. You've just joined from Facebook. Don't hesitate to smash that subscribe button on YouTube. That's Be Mine by L33. That is a hot little number. Ooh. What are we thinking for Shoe Thrower of the Week? Like, what's been... I don't know. I mean, I do quite like that Stormer track by Mean Teeth. That Be Mine's nice. It's all to play for. And also that Gydra bit from earlier. It's a bit of a easy eater right there. It's a bit of a easy eater. Anyway, vegan activists storm steakhouse and play audio from slaughterhouses as diners eat.
Destroy all communists. Communist detected.
Thank you, Liberty Prime. Diners at a Brazilian steakhouse in Brighton. Woo! I've eaten here loads of times. We used to go there after jiu-jitsu. Yeah, that's Brazilian. What are you going to do? Diners at a Brazilian steakhouse in Brighton, UK have had a more tumultuous evening than they might have anticipated after a vegan activist group stormed the restaurant and staged a protest.
Communist detected.
A group from Direct Action Everywhere interrupted a busy service on Saturday night at Turo Steakhouse, armed with plaques and speakers. Please don't attack the vegans, they will fall to pieces. They are made of soy beans alone. One member of the group then made a speech in the restaurant, but was largely talked over. The group then played audio from speakers taken allegedly from slaughterhouses before chanting, "It's not food, it's violence." And there's no excuse for animal abuse. Well, there's certainly no excuse for animal abuse, but just the normal, abuse-free raising of animals and then eating them. They are delicious and healthy and good for you. However, the majority of diners seemed unaffected, even amused by the protest, with most people laughing and continuing to eat their all-you-can-eat meat.
Smoking these meats.
Indeed, Zuckerberg. Police were called to the restaurant and 2 community support officers attended, but the group left the premises after around 20 minutes before continuing their rally outside the restaurant. As they exited, diners cheered loudly, and many of them took the opportunity to participate in the chant of their own, the classic, "You're not singing anymore." You've got to love the Brits, haven't you? It's just so funny. Oh, look, obviously animal abuses are terrible. It shouldn't happen. There should be, stuff should be better regulated, but just going and bothering people while they're having their dinner. I mean, for God's sake, come on. A Sussex police spokesman said, "We've received a report of a protest of a group of about 20 at Turo Steakhouse in West Street, Brighton. They were said to be animal rights activists.
Communist detected.
2 police community support officers attended and found the group were protesting outside the restaurant. They were not committing any offence and were allowed the right to peaceful protest. Of course. Direct Action Everywhere has staged numerous protests of this kind in restaurants and supermarkets. The group was founded in the USA in 2013 and now has several branches in the UK. The spokesperson for the Brighton branch said... At a time where we were experiencing mass environmental destruction, half-truth, largely due to the unsustainable and unethical food choices, half-truth, it is paramount that we put our egos and selfishness aside and accept that we are all connected. Okay, so by storming into a restaurant and bothering people while they're eating, you're putting your ego aside. Okay, cool. We can no longer ignore the suffering and pain we cause. We are not the only sentient beings that inhabit this planet. Okay, well, why don't you tell some of the carnivore animals to stop eating other animals? Yeah, if they're all sentient, then maybe you might be able to convince a lion to eat some broccoli instead, or convince it that it would much prefer some kale to an antelope. See how that one goes down? Yeah, see if you can convince it. They're all sentient beings. Oh, yeah, we are all sentient beings. Sentences. I can't string a sentence together. Talking of sentient beings, hoo-wee! A giant cow called Knickers is so large it actually saved its life. This cow makes Big Bopper the Whopper look like a fucking prick, quite honestly. Poor Bopper, where is he? Bopper! He's too fat. Oh, poor big... Okay, look on, let's get her up. Where is she? Come on, babe. Oh, she's got some udders on her, I bet. Oh, yes. Look at the size of her. She's like at least 2 or 3 times the size of a normal cow. That is great. That is good news. Oh, bet she's delicious. Oh, yeah. Over in Australia, allegedly, lives a very large cow. Or if we're being technically accurate, a very large steer. Oh, it's a geezer. Sorry, pal. His name is Knickers. Why are you calling a big cow Knickers? He is 6'4" tall, stands and weighs, 1,400 kilos. Big bastard's nearly 1.5 tons. It's actually a tiny bit shorter than the steer that holds the world record for size, Bellino, who lives in Italy and is still very, very large. So large, in fact, that he's too big to be killed and sold as meat. Why? Just get one of these MMA lads, you know, the punchy boys. Get them in there. Get a rear naked choke on it. Come on, choke the cow out. Nah, that's not very ethical, is it? So large, in fact, that he's too big to be killed and sold as meat. Meat processors say they just can't take him. He's too big for them to deal with. He's too big, too powerful, too cruel. Looking at photos of Knickers next to other normal-sized cows, we can see why meaty types wouldn't want to bother with Knickers. He is a large boy. What the... No, the Pope didn't really tweet this, did he? Hold on a second. They've got tweets by the Pope. And the Pope says, okay, fine, I'll worship the big cow. No, this is not a real tweet. Oh, right, no, it's by an account called Pixelated Boat. It's a screen grab of a phony tweet of the Pope saying, okay, I'll worship the big cow. I think we should worship the big cow. I think we need to start well, he definitely needs a GoFundMe. Definitely. I think he wants to do a world tour. I want to see him do a TED Talk. That'd be brilliant. Millions would tune in for that. He needs his own podcast. Oh, Knickers. Yeah, the Knickers cast. Come on, where he gets other enormous animals on for a chat. It'd be brilliant. You can have Big Bopper the Whopper on as his first guest. Hattie the Fatty, that other fat dog, can go on there. If anyone knows of any other giant animals, freakishly large animals, please do send them to will@threshold.fm. I desperately want to see them.
Lobsters.
Right, okay, let's have a few more of these shoe throwers. Okay, this is Eastern Connection by Limewax. It's hard. It's hard. If you're watching on Facebook, you're going to need to click the YouTube link, or you will nay hear nothing. Come on, Nickers, you've had your time. This is a hot bit of gear, this is. Lime Wax, Eastern Connections. It's on Prospect. Ooh! Hoo-wee! Yeah. That's Eastern Connections by Lime Wax. Man. Behind bars following arrest in bizarre potato rage incident.
Lobsters.
Unfucking-surprisingly. A Florida man upset that his baked potato was undercooked allegedly stabbed a woman in the head with a fork in a domestic spud rage incident early this morning. Cops report. Wow. Yeah, don't be doing that. Look, I appreciate that an undercooked... There's nothing worse than an undercooked spud. Undercooked and underbuttered. Forget it. Don't even bother.
Communist detected.
Kenneth Crumpton, 36, was busted today on felony aggravated battery with a weapon. Charge in connection with the 12:30 a.m. attack inside a Jacksonville area residence. Why are you eating baked potatoes after midnight? You shouldn't have carbs that close to bedtime. Crumpton, seen at the right, he's old, he should know better, is being held in the Nassau County Jail in lieu of a $25,000 bond. It's a big bond. You'd get a bond like that for serious charges like friend zoning an officer. Investigators charged that Crumpton, displeased with the preparation of his potato, repeatedly stabbed the victim in the head with a fork. Police noted that blood was visible on the woman's head and that she had suffered multiple stab wounds. Yikes. During questioning, Crumpton told the cops that he did not stab the woman. Instead, he claimed that he threw the fork, which glanced off her head. The woman was not seriously injured and declined a police officer who offered medical assistance, according to the arrest report.
Lobsters.
Oh, God. Florida, again. Come on. This is... Guys, sort it out. Florida woman arrested for pelting police officer with her wet, used tampon. Yeeks.
It's appalling.
A Florida woman was arrested last night after she pelted a cop with a used tampon, which the police report characterised as a deadly weapon. Fucking hell.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Really? How would you kill someone with a tampon? I don't know. Could you get them to choke on it? Maybe. Could you force it into their eyeball? Until the eyeball. According to cops, Takora Fields, 28, was involved in a brawl Monday night in St. Petersburg, Florida, where Fields resides. As Officer Andre Souza investigated the fight, Fields told the St. Petersburg cop to suck her pussy, adding that, "I'll hit you with my tampon, you bitch." The tampon, Field noted, was destined for the patrolman's mouth. Yeesh. After issuing those threats, Fields was then seen with both her hands in her genital area, with her pants open. She was then observed throwing the wet white paper object at Souza. The tampon struck the officer's left shoulder. Ah! Officer down! Officer down! After flinging the tampon, Fields sought to flee into a nearby residence. She's gone on the lam. But she was apprehended following a successful taser deployment. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is very Tide Poddy. This is real Tide Pod generation stuff. Pictured above, Fields, who looks gutted, frankly. She looks gutted. Fields was charged with aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. A felony. That's probably 25 to life, isn't it? The crime was carried out in criminal complaint notes by use of a deadly weapon, to wit, a used tampon. Fields was released from custody earlier this afternoon after posting a $5,000 bond. Her rap sheet includes prior arrests for disorderly conduct and disorderly intoxication. I think she sounds like a laugh. I want to party with her. I want to party until the morning light, until the break of dawn. I want to sip 40s. I want to drink whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer lobsters. Okay, look, what else have we got here? Oh, Jasper Hamill of the Metro, my arch nemesis. WhatsApp is introducing a new button to help you arrange some group fun. Okay, it's hard enough persuading one person to engage with you. Bet it is, Jasper Hamill. Just because you rag on sharks so much and can't write an article without the fucking mistake every other line. Let alone convince loads of people to all drop their inhibitions at the same time. Do you think this is a cry for help from Jasper Hamill, that he can't get a date? He can't find a lass. Or a lad. You know, I don't know what his preference is. But WhatsApp makes it easier for you to arrange some group action. We're talking, of course, about the ability to talk to lots of chums at the same time. Right, so you can't even get a friend to talk to you, Jasper Hamill. Oh, dear. In WhatsApp speak, this is known as a group chat or call. Are they really reporting that WhatsApp have got a group call function? That's what constitutes news these days? Starting a call with more than one person is currently a bit fiddly because you need to dial the first friend and then add people afterwards. Oh yeah, it's a literal nightmare. You have to press two additional buttons. Now WhatsApp is adding a new button with a group chat, which will let you immediately talk to up to 3 people. Wow, this is news. Thanks for this, Jasper Hamill. I'm really pleased. Wow, incredible. Do you know they've usually got like 75,000 shares? This one's got 14 shares. Wow, brilliant. Thanks for that. Baby's gender reveal sparked massive wildfire that took 800 firefighters a week to put out. Fucking hell. I don't know how bad your day's been today, but it's just nothing in comparison to this. A gender reveal stunt that went disastrously wrong, sparking a 47,000-acre wildfire that caused $8 million worth of damage. Wow. I mean, I guess once that's happened, I doubt your life could ever get any worse. So you got it's the only way is up from there, really, isn't it? Border Patrol agent Dennis Dickey had come up with a harebrained scheme to tell the world the gender of his unborn child. He planned to fire a gun at a target that would explode with either pink or blue powder. Where is this? Where did this happen? Border Patrol. So, I mean, I guess it must be America. However, the 37-year-old had also packed the target with the legal but explosive compound tannerite, which has been linked to wildfires. When Dickey fired the rifle, his gunshot ignited the nearby dry grass and mesquite trees. Yeah, this is about as American as it gets, really, isn't it? The flames spread rapidly and took 800 firefighters a week to get it under control. Known as the Sawmill Fire, it raged along Arizona's Highway 83 and forced hundreds of people from their homes. Luckily, there were no injuries and no buildings were destroyed. The cause of the fire in Colorado National Forest was made worse because of the weather conditions. There had been a period of lower than average rainfall, while unusually high winds carried the flames. Dickey has now pleaded guilty to the charge of causing a fire without a permit. He has agreed to make an initial $100,000 payment and compensation of $8 million. Local newspapers reports suggest he might not have to pay the entire sum. The embarrassed new father will also have to star in public service videos warning against copycat attempts. Do you really think people would be copying that idea for a gender reveal party after this has happened? Like, hey, you know, we know it's a boy now. We should tell everyone we should have a gender reveal party. Hey, that's a great idea. How should we do it? Oh, I saw the coolest thing on YouTube, yeah? It's geezer with a rifle. He's got a load of explosives in there and he's got some blue powder in it and he shoots it and it causes a wildfire that takes like 8,000 firefighters a week to put it out. It's cost him $8 million. Hey, that's a great idea. We should do it. Maybe we'll try and not do the wildfire bit, but that's a cool idea. Fuck's sake. He says, I feel absolutely horrible about it, like, it's probably one of the worst days of my life. Probably one. How bad has your life been that this is probably? I'm not 100%. I'd say 90% sure it's the worst day of my life. The blaze raged in April 2017. Oh, this is really old news. Fucking Metro. Jesus. But the US Forest Service has just released footage of the botched stunt. Dickey's target can be seen and the gunshot fired. There is a small puff of coloured smoke, which quickly ignites the parched grass. A man can be heard in the video screaming and gathering guests. Start packing up! Start packing up! Dickey called the law enforcement agents immediately and admitted he had started the devastating fires. And the sex of Dennis Dickey's child? It's a boy! Gender reveal parties have become popular over the last decade, with prospective parents going to more and more extreme lengths. A few months ago, a man in Louisiana brought out a live alligator and placed a watermelon in its mouth. When the creature snapped its jaws, the fruit exploded, spilling coloured jelly onto the grass. What the fuck? While no one was injured, law enforcement officials had to warn people not to try the same trick at home. Well, God bless him. God bless him. Okay, we're nearing the end of the show. So to play us out, here is James Marvel with Way of the Warrior, June Miller remix with MC Bopper the Whopper on the mic.
Suffocate my seat, dark, I'm not gonna get a trap, you'll be sight on the bunch, you know my bed. watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the laser. Warrior kills on killer the beatings. Right here from dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beatings. Right here from dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beatings. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound in the feet when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, I'm magic, gonna get it, drag you, face sight on the bloodshed, Batman, need them out right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beatings. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound in the feet when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, I'm magic, gonna get it, drag you, face sight on the bloodshed, need them out right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the laser. Warrior, 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 warrior. Right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior, 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 warrior. Right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound when you feel when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, I'm magic, gonna get it, drag you, resight on the bloodshed, Batman, need them out right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound when you feel when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, I'm magic, gonna get it, drag you, resight on the bloodshed, need them out right here, dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gotta get them locked in the ways of the laser. Warrior, 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 warrior. Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound when you feet when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, heart magic, gonna get it, drag you, resight on the bloodshed, Batman, need them out right here, done dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gonna get them locked in the ways of that. Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound when you feet when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, heart magic, gonna get it, drag you, resight on the bloodshed, need them out right here, done dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gonna get them locked in the ways of the laser. Warrior, 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 warrior. Right here, done dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gonna get them locked in the ways of the Warrior, 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 warrior. Right here, done dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gonna get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a sound when you feel when you're leaving. Suffocate mind, stay dark, heart magic, gonna get it, drag you, resight on the bloodshed, Batman, need them out right here, done dead bleeding, watch them snake eyes, gonna get them locked in the ways of the Warrior kills on killer the beating. Sing shot, ninja, killing in the ways of the base, stop breathing, gonna make a
Ooh, Eurovision Song Contest. That's a nice idea, isn't it? Well, it's that time of the show. Shout out the VIP list. A group of badass motherfuckers that are helping support the show and the station as a whole on Patreon. If you want your name on this list, go to Patreon and sign up and donate and help cover our costs, and you will get shouted out at the end of every goddamn show. Join the ranks of Nicholas Goncalves, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Pauly Hutton, Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Mattieu Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Colm Murphy, Sam Howard, Tony J, Richard Patterson, Jack Murphy, Tom Camm, Stephen Harris, Mattieu Boulard, Zara Pickles, Jeroen Van Thunderbutt, Mike Pye, Anthony Walker, Lily Unsub, and Richard Franks. It's a growing list, and we are nearly at our first goal of being able to cover all the costs. We're only a few quid away, like $20 away or something along those lines. So help out. You are wonderful, and your help is seriously, seriously appreciated. If you're listening to this on YouTube for the first time, if you've come in through the slightly moody stream on Facebook, remember you can also get this as a podcast. Either just search Coffee and Memes in whatever your podcast app of choice is, or there is a link in the Facebook video which will take you to a page which will show you all the links to all the different podcast outlets where you can get it.
Lobsters.
Communist detected.
Oh, God. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow afternoon. I will also have Jaguar Skills in the studio for a long-form podcast talking about the accident he was in as a child, which left him with terrible facial scars and deformities, so he has to wear a mask. And we'll talk about his new wine business. Anyway, look, I love you all. Go out and do good in the world. Go out, climb the competence hierarchy. You know, do something good, master a craft, master a skill, get jacked, get absolutely bodied up. Might as well. There's nothing better to do, is there? And just go out and throw some dabs. I will see you tomorrow morning at 10. Don't let your memes be dreams. Go and be good to each other. I love you all very much. Okay, good.